today in celebrating the 76th Republic Day of India. This day marks the completion of 75 years since the Constitution of India commenced. It is an occasion to celebrate the edifice of the Indian democracy. This is a landmark achievement. For when Bharat gained independence, there were numerous hesitations, several skeptics of having the longest written constitution govern a country that had been impoverished over the years by its colonial masters. However, the Indian constitution defied and nullified all such doubts, guiding us to where we stand today as the fifth largest economy in the world and our way soon to becoming the third largest with a $5 trillion GDP.
Step into a career in business. After A-levels, join IIT. Register now.
Sri Lanka Insurance Life. Like a father, like a mother.
ලේසි ඕනෑම ATM එකකට යන්න රන් කාසි දිනා ගන්න ලංකපේ.
We, the people, have resolutely upheld the values of the Republic for 3/4 of the century. Democracy is not a mere political construct. It is a tradition in India. India is the mother of democracy. Evidence has it that the ethos of a limited government and countervailing institutions prevailed in ancient India in the age of the Buddha. Allow me to indulge you in some trivia. A quote by the Chinese traveler and Buddhist monk Huangzhang that stayed with me. People of distant places with diverse customs generally designate the land they most admire as India. This is from the account of Huangzhang's travel in the Indosphere in about 6th century CE. India was then an exporter of its civilization, from religion, art, philosophy to textiles, technology, even mathematics, medicine, literature. India was the cradle of all. Today, the nation is in the early years of Amrit Kal, the period leading to the centenary of independence. This is the time of an epochal transformation. India is happening at a pace and scale that is unprecedented. Let me give you a readout of highlights from my country from these last couple of weeks only. We saw the launch of the Genome India project, a new platform and framework for sharing 10,000 human genome data set sequence from 99 ethnic populations. A fillip to India's bioeconomy, which was valued at $10 billion in 2014 and has now grown to over $150 billion. With more than $500 million already having digital health IDs, this will usher an era of targeted medicine in India. Bharat Global Mobility Expo, bringing the entire mobility value chain under one roof, just concluded. In the last decade alone, electric vehicle sales have increased by 640 times. In another update, for the first time, India commissioned a destroyer, a frigate and a submarine, together, all made in India. INS Surat, INS Nilgiri and INS Bakshir. ISRO successfully demonstrated space docking or the joining of two fast-moving satellites in space, making India only the fourth country in the world after United States, Russia and China to have this capability. On this success rests ISRO's vision for the future of Indian space exploration, which includes building a space station and putting a person on the moon. We also marked 150th Foundation Day of India Meteorological Department. IMD, as it is known, has enabled today that the early warning for all facility is reaching more than 90% of the country's population. Weather forecasts reach directly on WhatsApp services like the Meghdut mobile app, make this information available in all the local languages of the country. Till a decade ago, only 10% of the farmers were able to use any weather-related advice. Today, this number has increased to more than 50%. Rural land digitization has achieved 92% coverage, giving legal property ownership to over 20 million rural families. The Sonmarg Tunnel was recently inaugurated in what is one of the most difficult terrains in India, ensuring year-round seamless connectivity between Srinagar and Ladakh. We had the Viksit Bharat Young Leaders Dialogue, wherein Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi engaged with 3,000 dynamic young leaders from across India to mobilize their energies towards making India a developed country by 2047. I can go on, but this little recap over the last 2 weeks in India is only to demonstrate the eclectic mix of energy and vigor in the country today. The energy is visible across domains, be it science and technology, climate adaptation, digitization, manufacturing and industry, defense capability, infrastructure and connectivity. As the youngest country in the world, Indian aspirations for sustainable and inclusive growth are visible across the country. The underlying mantra of this growth is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Our vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, is not just about self-sufficiency. It is about being a partner in progress for our neighbors and the global community. We intend to take our friends along this trajectory, guided by a policy of neighborhood first and Vision Sagar. Today, I am delighted to be here as the Acting High Commissioner to India, closest maritime neighbor and long-standing partner, celebrating the 76th Republic Day amongst our Sri Lankan friends. Sri Lanka, just as India, has remained a steadfast democracy and a republic through its independent years. India and Sri Lanka not only are fellow democracies, sharing in our diversity and dynamism, we are civilisational partners, sharing our history, language, religion and ethos. Our stories have intertwined and our futures are interlinked. Our geographical proximity makes us natural partners, and the same proximity demands a mutual sensitivity to each other's interests. It also requires each of us to support the other with an unmatched spontaneity, unencumbered by third-party pulls and pressures. India has time and again demonstrated that it is a dependable partner and a reliable friend for Sri Lanka. Whether it is a natural disaster, mishaps at sea, the COVID pandemic, or the recent economic crisis, India has come to Sri Lanka's assistance always as the first responder. Our support has been timely, quick, and unconditional. India, as the co-chair of the Official Creditors Committee, remains involved in financial stabilization efforts for Sri Lanka through its engagement with the IMF. In addition to the ongoing debt restructuring, India has created additional fiscal headroom for Sri Lanka by converting $100 million worth of development debt assistance to grants. This takes India's grant assistance to Sri Lanka to nearly $780 million, making India the principal development partner for Sri Lanka. India's development assistance projects exist in each of the 25 districts of Sri Lanka. Completed projects amount to $390 million. Ongoing projects are approximately $201 million, and committed grant projects in the pipeline stand at nearly $180 million. As Sri Lanka turns a corner from economic recovery to growth, our leadership has indicated a strategic shift from debt-driven models towards investment-led partnerships across different sectors. This is a major highlight of the joint statement agreed upon by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and President His Excellency Anura Kumar Dissanayake during the latter's visit to India in December 2024. These investment projects are focused on enhancing physical, digital and energy connectivity, the key pillars of our partnership. The energy projects include establishing electricity grid connectivity and multi-product petroleum pipelines between both the nations. We have jointly decided that, post the successful launch of Nagapattinam and Kankesanturai ferry service, we will also initiate a ferry service between Rameshwaram and Talaimannar. You must have seen that Indigo has emerged the largest foreign carrier in Sri Lanka. On the digital connectivity front, we are working to implement the Sri Lanka Unique Digital Identity Project in mission mode. In keeping with the promise of the Sri Lankan government for people-centric digitization, SLUDI will be the foundational DPI to unlock benefits of the digital stack. A joint working group has been established to explore the implementation of DPI stack in Sri Lanka. We will also be assisting Sri Lanka in training 1,500 Sri Lankan civil servants across ministries and departments with a focus on e-governance, including the government e-marketplace. India's multimodal logistics digital dashboard, PM Gati Shakti, digitized customs and other taxation procedures. India's capacity building initiatives to extend to students as well through the offer of nearly 1,000 scholarship slots under various schemes. Friends, while capacity building remains as a major pillar of our defense partnership, we are continually expanding and strengthening this dimension, further given our mutual and inseparable security interests. Last year saw the establishment of the Maritime Rescue and Coordination Center in Sri Lanka, amongst other assistance vital for Sri Lanka to enhance its maritime domain awareness. Both sides have now decided to work on a security cooperation agreement. We have also agreed to cooperate on hydrography. The Colombo Security Conclave is an important platform for regional peace, security and development, which will continue to be buttressed. As you can see, the India-Sri Lanka partnership today is all-encompassing. India's growth and its capacities have been made available for Sri Lanka to partake in as per Sri Lanka's needs and priorities. It is often that one country tells another to exploit its markets and its scale. We do that, for the intent is to transform the bilateral relationship into a new standard for friendly and neighborly ties. These ties may be non-reciprocal in benefit, but are underpinned by a significant measure of trust and goodwill that is very much reciprocal and mutual. The foundation of the comprehensive partnership between the two countries rests on the bonds of long-standing religious and spiritual links, filial friendships, language exchanges, traditional trading routes, and business exchanges between our people. When India declared the Pali language as a classical language, Sri Lanka joined us in the celebration. We have recently supported the reprinting of the Pali grammar book, Namamala, the World Hindi Day. Sri Lanka's first ever open learning certificate course in Hindi was also launched recently. Legend and devotion connect our people through the Ramayana trail in Sri Lanka and the Buddhist circuit in India. It is no surprise, therefore, that India remains the largest source of tourists to Sri Lanka. As is evident, the India-Sri Lanka partnership, just as democracy, is people-led and people-centered. People lie at the core of each project, every initiative undertaken by the two countries. To strengthen that core, to foster partnerships for a shared future. I look forward to your continuous cooperation and support.